Welcome back to Beijing, where we continue to keep a watch on that meeting between President Putin and President Xi Jinping that's set to kick off in about an hour's time. Well, let's get the thoughts of Wang Wen, the Dean of the Chongyang Institute for Financial Studies at Renmin University. Wang Wen, thanks for coming back on again. This is a relationship that President Xi has described as ironclad. Why is this relationship so important to China?
Yeah, I think that for China, Russia relationship is very, very important. It's our primary bilateral relationship. I think that have three reasons. First reason is that we all know we have the complementary trade relationship. We need Russia's energy and Russia need our market. And second reason is that I think more importantly is that 25 years ago, I don't know whether you know, we signed a very important treaty, the Treaty of Good Neighborly Friendship and Cooperation between China and Russia. We want to push the lasting and permanent friendship, forever friendship between our two countries. We want to promote the model of relationship among great power. And more importantly, is the leaders' relationship. Because you mentioned right now, in the past 10 years, China President Xi Jinping and Russia President Putin, they have 40 meetings. The two heads of states meet 3 or 4 times a year. Each meeting lasting several hours. Let's imagine how many friends you met 3 or 4 times a year and had an in-depth conversation with a couple of hours. If you have, they are undoubtedly your best friend. So therefore, I think the friendship between the presidents is very, very deep. And the friendship of the two heads promote the bilateral relationship.
Yeah, it has become quite clear how close China and Russia are, and the two leaders are themselves. When we spoke last week, President Trump was here in Beijing. Does that have any bearing on what's going to be discussed here?
Let me tell you a very important signal. That is 4 days after Trump visited to China, Putin visited China. So this can be seen as a very important, significant signal of a new interaction among China, US, and Russia. In fact, I don't know whether you remember, on February 4th this year, which is also the Chinese Lunar Spring beginning day, President Xi Jinping held a video conference with Putin and a phone call with Trump in 1 day. This is already a carefully planned arrangement for upcoming interactions between the three major powers. And the following interactions require close attention. This September, President Xi will pay a state visit to the US. And in November, China will host the APEC summit in Shenzhen. And Putin and Trump will both be present. At that time, a meeting among the three leaders is highly likely. And then, more importantly, following this, the G20 summit will be held in US. And the US has extended an invitation to President Putin. And the Russian president will attend the G20 summit again after a 5-year hiatus. At that time, we can perhaps expect a meeting among the three leaders on the same stage again. So what my conclusion is that the China, the US, and Russia, the three most important global powers, are rewriting the paradigm of greater power interaction with greater strategic foresight and reshaping the global political landscape.